The mining station smelled like oil and metal. Taman wiped sweat from his forehead as he crawled through the narrow maintenance tunnel. His toolbox scraped against the metal floor behind him. The station manager had called about a broken cooling system, and Taman was the only engineer available. He had been working on human ships for 10 years, but the last 3 years brought something new. Aliens. Real aliens from across the galaxy. Humanity had finally joined the Galactic Union, and everything changed. Now Taman fixed machines on stations where dozens of alien species came to trade and refuel. The tunnel opened into a large room filled with old equipment. Taman stood up and stretched his back. This part of the station looked abandoned. Dust covered everything. Broken machines sat in corners like forgotten toys. He pulled out his scanner and searched for the cooling unit. A sound made him stop. It was quiet, almost too quiet to hear. A whimper. Like a puppy in pain. Taman turned slowly. The sound came from behind a pile of metal crates near the wall. He walked closer, his boots crunching on debris. Another whimper, weaker this time. Behind the crates, he found a cage. It was small, maybe 2 feet wide. Inside was something that looked like a wolf puppy, but the fur was silver blue and seemed to glow faintly in the dim light. The creature lay on its side, barely breathing. Its ribs showed through matted fur. One leg bent at a wrong angle. "Oh no," Taman whispered. He knelt down and looked closer. The cage had strange symbols on it. He did not recognize the language, but the markings looked military. Serious and official. The creature opened one eye. It was golden, intelligent, and full of pain. It looked at Taman but did not try to move. Taman reached for the cage lock. His hand shook. He should call someone. Report this. But to who? The station manager would not care about a dying animal. And if this belonged to someone military, they might punish him for interfering. The creature whimpered again. Taman made his decision. He broke the lock with his crowbar and carefully opened the cage door. The smell hit him immediately. Infection and waste. This animal had been here for days, maybe weeks. "I've got you," Taman said softly. "You're safe now." He took off his jacket and wrapped the creature gently. It was so light, like holding a small cat. He could feel its heart beating fast against his chest. As he lifted it, he noticed something terrible. Metal implants dug into the creature's spine. Wires connected to its skull. Whoever owned this animal had put machines inside it. Taman felt sick. He carried the creature back through the tunnel, forgetting about the cooling system. Nothing mattered except getting help. The walk back to his ship felt like hours. He kept the creature hidden under his jacket. The station was busy with afternoon trade. Aliens of all shapes and sizes walked past him. Tall insect-like beings carried boxes. Small floating creatures spoke in musical tones. Giant rock-skinned workers loaded cargo. None of them noticed the human engineer hurrying to his docking bay. The horizon's edge waited where he had left it. The ship was medium-sized, built for exploration and research. Taman had served on it for 2 years. Captain Dongwu ran a good crew, and they treated Taman well. He rushed up the boarding ramp and went straight to the medical bay. Bora was there organizing medicine supplies. She was the ship's biologist and animal doctor. If anyone could help, it was her, Bora. "I need help." She turned, saw his face, and immediately cleared a table. "What happened?" Taman laid the creature down gently. Bora's eyes went wide. Her hands froze over the animal. "Is that... Taman, do you know what this is? A puppy? Some kind of alien pet?" "This is Vraxi." Her voice was barely a whisper. "This is a Vraxi." Taman stared at her. He knew that name. Everyone in the galaxy knew that name. The Vraxi were warriors, massive wolf-like predators that stood 9 feet tall. They controlled entire sectors of space. Their military was feared everywhere. No one fought the Vraxi and won. That's impossible. Vraxi are huge. This is tiny. Bora started scanning the creature with her medical tools. "It's Vraxi. Look at the bone structure, the muscle composition, the genetic markers." "But you're right. This one is extremely small. I've never seen anything like this." She worked quickly, cleaning wounds and checking vital signs. Taman watched, feeling helpless. The creature's breathing was shallow. Its heartbeat irregular. "Taman, where did you find this?" "In a cage. Hidden in the old section of the station. It has implants in its spine." Bora examined the metal devices buried in the creature's back. Her face went pale. "These are neural control implants. Military grade. They're designed to cause pain and prevent the subject from doing certain things. This poor thing has been tortured. Can you remove them? I'll need Hyejin's help. These are connected directly to the nervous system. One wrong move and we could paralyze or kill it. Taemin put his hand gently on the creature's head. Do whatever you need to do. Save it. Bora called for Hyejin, the ship's medical officer. When Hyejin arrived and saw the patient, she had the same shocked reaction. But both women were professionals. They worked together for 3 hours, carefully removing the implants and treating the wounds. Captain Dongwu found them in the medical bay around midnight. He was a tall man with gray hair and a stern face. He looked at the sleeping creature on the table, then at Taemin. Want to explain this? I found it dying, sir. I couldn't leave it. Do you know what you've brought onto my ship? That's a Vraxi. Somewhere out there, someone owns this creature. Probably someone military and powerful. When they find out we have it, there will be trouble. It was in a cage being tortured, left to die in the trash. What was I supposed to do? Dongwu sighed and rubbed his face. You were supposed to report it and let authorities handle it. Now we're involved. Now we're responsible. I'll take full responsibility, Captain. If there's trouble, blame me. That's not how it works, Taemin. We're a human ship. We represent Earth. If we anger the Vraxi, it affects all of humanity. We're still new to this galaxy. We can't afford to make powerful enemies. Bora stepped forward. Captain, with respect, we saved a life. That has to count for something. In human culture, yes, but we don't know how Vraxi culture views this. For all we know, we've stolen military property. The creature stirred on the table. Everyone froze. Slowly it opened its eyes. Golden eyes that looked around the room with clear intelligence. It saw Hyejin and Bora and seemed afraid. Then it saw Taemin. The creature stared at him for a long moment. Something passed between them. Recognition, gratitude, trust. Taemin stepped closer. You're safe now. No one will hurt you here. The creature's eyes closed again, but this time it looked peaceful. Not like before. Not like something waiting to die. Captain Dongwu watched this exchange. His expression softened slightly. Keep it stable. Keep it quiet. We'll figure out what to do next. But Taemin, understand this. We may have just started something we can't finish. Yes, sir. The captain left. Bora and Hyejin went to get rest. Taemin stayed in the medical bay. He pulled a chair next to the table and sat down. The creature breathed steadily now. The wounds were cleaned and bandaged. The implants were gone. Taemin did not know what would happen next. He did not know if he had made the right choice. But looking at the small creature sleeping peacefully for probably the first time in its life, he could not regret saving it. Outside the ship, the station continued its busy life. Aliens traded goods, made deals, and went about their business. None of them knew that something important had just happened. That one human engineer had made a choice that would change everything. The creature's ear twitched in its sleep. Taemin smiled and settled into his chair. Whatever came next, they would face it together. 2 weeks passed slowly on the horizon's edge. The small Vraxi grew stronger each day. Bora made special food that helped rebuild muscle. Hyejin monitored healing progress. The wounds closed. The broken leg set properly. But the creature stayed silent and watched everything with those intelligent golden eyes. Taemin visited the medical bay every day. Sometimes he read books aloud. Sometimes he just sat quietly while working on his datapad. The creature always seemed calmer when he was there. On the 15th day, Bora made an important discovery. She ran into the medical bay where Taemin was reading. It can understand us. Taemin looked up. What? The Vraxi. It has translator implants in its brain. Old ones, probably installed when it was young. It understands every word we say. The creature lifted its head and looked directly at Bora. Then it nodded. Actually nodded. Taemin stood up slowly. You understand me? You've understood everything this whole time? Another nod. Can you speak? The creature opened its mouth. A rough, broken sound came out. Not words, just pain. It closed its mouth and looked away, embarrassed. Bora examined the scans again. The vocal cords are damaged, probably from the implants or from trauma. It physically cannot speak our languages, Taemin thought for a moment. Then he grabbed his datapad and held it out. Can you read? The creature looked at the screen. Its eyes focused. Then carefully, slowly, it lifted one paw and touched the screen. Letters appeared, typed one at a time. Yes. Taemin's heart raced. What's your name? More typing. RYX. Rix. Your name is Rix? A nod. Bora brought a better tablet with a larger screen and easier controls. Rix took to it immediately. His paws were small but clever. He typed faster as he practiced. "Thank you for saving me." "You're welcome, Rix. Can you tell us what happened to you?" Rix hesitated. His paws hovered over the tablet. Then he started typing, deleting, typing again. Finally, words appeared. "I was born wrong, too small. My father kept me as pet, as joke." "Your father did this to you?" "Yes. He is War Master Thel, important Vraxi commander. I bring shame to his name." Bora and Timon exchanged looks. This was worse than they thought. "How old are you?" Bora asked. 23 standard years. "You're not a child," Timon said softly. "You're an adult. Yes, but I will always be small. My body cannot grow, genetic defect." Over the next few days, Rix told them his story through the tablet. He typed during quiet hours when the ship was calm. Sometimes he stopped because the memories hurt too much. But slowly, the truth came out. Rix was born into a powerful military family. Vraxi culture valued strength and size above everything else. Warriors measured worth by combat ability and physical power. When Rix was born small, the doctors said he would never grow properly. Some said they should kill him. But War Master Thel, his father, had a different idea. He kept Rix alive as a pet, as entertainment for soldiers. They made Rix perform tricks, fight smaller animals, dance while they laughed. The neural implants prevented him from escaping or hurting himself. They also caused constant pain as punishment for disobedience. For 23 years, this was Rix's life. Then one day, War Master Thel grew bored. He dumped Rix in a cage on the mining station and left him to die. Disposal of an embarrassing problem. Timon felt anger burning in his chest as he read these words. "That's not a father. That's a monster. I have no family. I am nothing." "That's not true," Bora said firmly. "You're intelligent. You're strong for surviving. You matter." Rix looked at her with doubt in his eyes. Timon spent more time with Rix after that. He brought entertainment from Earth, movies, music, books. Rix absorbed everything with desperate curiosity. He had never been allowed to learn or explore. Every new thing was a gift. One evening, Timon showed Rix a documentary about wolves on Earth. Real wolves, running free in forests. Rix watched without moving. When it ended, he typed slowly. "We look similar, but Earth wolves are free. I envy them." "You're free now," Timon said. "Am I? Or will they make me go back?" "Not if I can help it." Rix tilted his head. "Why do you care so much?" "I am just broken alien, because everyone deserves kindness. Everyone deserves a chance at a real life. Size doesn't matter. Species doesn't matter. You're a person, Rix. You deserve respect." Rix stared at the tablet for a long time. Then he typed something and erased it. Typed and erased. Finally, he left one sentence. "No one ever called me a person before." The next week brought trouble. The Horizon's Edge docked at a major trading station for supplies. It was a massive place, 10 times bigger than the mining station. Thousands of beings came through every day. Captain Dongwu went with Bora to gather medical supplies. Heejin managed the fuel connection. Taemin stayed on the ship with Rix, who was finally healthy enough to walk around the medical bay. Then the alarm sounded. A Vraxi warship had docked at the station. Rix heard the announcement and immediately ran to hide in a storage cabinet. Taemin found him there, shaking. "It's okay. You're safe on the ship." Rix typed frantically. "They are looking for me. I know it. How can you be sure? Thel would not leave me to die without checking if I survived. He would worry I might tell secrets." "What secrets?" Rix hesitated. Then he typed something that made Taemin's blood run cold. "Have photographic memory. Genius-level intelligence. I know every Vraxi military secret. Battle plans, weaknesses, everything. They kept me as pet, but they talked around me. They thought I did not matter. I remember all of." Taemin sat back. "That's why they had the implants. Not just to control you. To prevent you from sharing information." "Yes. Now implants are gone. I am most dangerous thing in galaxy to Vraxi military." A message came through to the ship's communication system. Taemin opened it and felt his stomach drop. It was a bounty notice, posted by War Master Thel. Reward for return of stolen military asset. The description matched Rix perfectly. Captain Dongwu returned with the others. They gathered in the meeting room. Rix sat on the table looking small and scared. "We have a problem," Dongwu said. "Vraxi soldiers are searching ships at the docking bay. They claim something was stolen from them. They have legal authority to search any vessel. We can't let them take Rix, Taman said immediately. We may not have a choice. Galactic law is complicated. If they claim he's military property and have documentation, we have to comply. He's not property. He's a person. Human law says that. Vraxi law might say different. We're in neutral space. Their laws matter just as much as ours. Bora leaned forward. What if we just left? Right now. Before they search us. That would make us fugitives. We'd be admitting guilt. The Galactic Union would side with the Vraxi. Humanity can't afford that kind of diplomatic incident. We've only been part of the Union for 15 years. We're still proving ourselves. Heejin spoke quietly. So we just hand over Rix? Let them take him back to that life? Silence filled the room. Everyone looked at Rix. He typed on his tablet. I understand. Humanity must come first. I will go back. Thank you for the kindness you showed me. I will not tell them you helped me. No, Taman said. No, we're not doing that. Taman, the captain warned. Sir, with respect, this is wrong. We all know it's wrong. If we hand him over, we're no better than the people who hurt him. Dongwu closed his eyes. He was quiet for a long minute. Then he sighed. Navigation, plot a course out of this station. Engineering, prepare for emergency departure. Medical, secure all equipment. We're leaving in 10 minutes. Captain, Hyjin said, surprised. I didn't join the exploration service to abandon innocent beings. If humanity wants to prove itself in this galaxy, we start by standing for what's right, even if it costs us. Taman felt relief wash over him. Bora smiled. Heejin nodded with approval. Rix typed quickly. You would risk everything for me? Not just for you, Dongwu said. For the principal. Now let's move before they lock down the docking bays. The crew rushed to their stations. The horizon's edge powered up fast. Taman took Rix to his personal quarters where he would be safest. As the ship began to pull away from the dock, alarms sounded throughout the station. Vraxi patrol ships moved to intercept. Captain, we have 3 Vraxi fighters approaching fast, the navigator reported. Rix, Taman called. We need help. Is there a way past them? Rix climbed onto the navigation console and looked at the screens. His eyes moved rapidly, calculating. Then he typed coordinates and commands. Use this route. They will expect you to go straight. Go through the asteroid field. They think human ships are too weak for that route. Prove them wrong. Captain. Dongwu looked at the course. It was dangerous, but possible. Navigation, follow his directions. The ship dove into the asteroid field. The Vraxi fighters followed but fell behind. The horizon's edge was smaller and more agile. Taman's engineering kept the engines running perfectly. Within 20 minutes, they had escaped. Everyone breathed easier as they jumped to faster than light speed. They were safe. For now. Rix typed a message and showed it to the captain. I am sorry I brought trouble to you. You didn't bring trouble. We chose to help. Big difference. Dongwu looked at the small Vraxi. You're part of this crew now. We protect our own. Rix's eyes glistened. He typed one more message. I will help you however I can, I promise. And Taman realized something important. They had saved more than just one life. They had gained an incredible ally, and maybe, just maybe, started something that would change everything. 3 days passed in uneasy peace. The horizon's edge traveled through quiet space, avoiding major stations and trade routes. The crew stayed alert. Everyone knew the Vraxi would not give up easily. Rick spent most of his time in the navigation room helping plot safe courses. His knowledge of Vraxi patrol patterns proved incredibly useful. He typed instructions constantly, guiding them through gaps in enemy coverage. Taemin noticed Rick seemed nervous, more nervous than usual. He barely slept. He jumped at sudden noises. What's wrong? Taemin asked one evening. Rix typed slowly. They will not stop. Thel will make this official. He will go to the Galactic Union. Can he do that? Yes, he will claim I am military asset, stolen property, defector with classified information. All of it is technically true. But you're not property. You're a person. In Vraxi law, I am defective. I have no rights. The Galactic Union usually respects individual species laws. Taemin felt cold. So they could legally force us to hand you over? Probably yes. The next morning, Captain Dongwu called an emergency meeting. His face was grim. We received an official communication from the Galactic Union Council. War Master Thel has filed a formal complaint against humanity and this ship specifically. What's the complaint? Bora asked. Theft of military property, harboring a defector, interfering with Vraxi internal affairs. The Council is ordering us to return to the nearest Union station immediately and surrender Rix to Vraxi custody. Hyjin slammed her hand on the table. This is wrong. I agree, but we're bound by Union law. Humanity signed the treaty. If we refuse, we become outlaws. Every Union species will have the right to arrest or attack us. What about Earth? Taemin asked. What does our government say? Dongwu's face darkened. Earth's ambassador has been pressured heavily. The Vraxi are threatening to cut trade agreements. Other species are watching to see how we respond. Our ambassador sent a direct order. We have 72 hours to comply. Silence fell over the room. Rick sat very still on the table. He looked small and sad. Finally, he typed, I will go back. I will not let you become criminals for me. There has to be another way, Taemin said desperately. There are a few options, Dongwu said. Option 1, we obey orders. Hand over Rix. This hurts morally but keeps humanity safe. No, Taemin said flatly. Option 2, we run. Become outlaws. Live in uncharted space. Never dock at a Union station again. This means giving up everything. Our families, our careers, our lives, Bora spoke up. I'd do it. If that's what it takes, Hyjin nodded. Me too. The navigator and other crew members agreed. They would run if necessary. Dongwu smiled sadly. I'm proud of you all. But option 2 means we can never go home. Never see Earth again. Are we ready for that? The weight of those words settled over everyone. Leaving Earth forever. Never seeing family or friends again. It was a huge sacrifice. Option 3? Taemin asked. We fight legally. Try to argue Rix's case before the Galactic Union Council. Claim he deserves rights as a sentient being. It's a long shot. But if we win, it sets a precedent. Changes the law for others in Rix's situation. What are the chances of winning? Honestly? Very small. The Council usually favors old, powerful species like the Vraxi. Humanity is new. Weak. We don't have political weight. They'll likely rule against us just to keep the peace, Rix typed urgently. There is option 4. Everyone looked at him. He typed more. I challenge Thel to ritual combat for my freedom. What does that mean? Hyjin asked. It is old Vraxi law. Very old. Still legally valid. If someone claims ownership of another Vraxi and that Vraxi disputes it, they can challenge to combat. Winner takes all. But you can't fight, Taemin said. You're too small. He'd kill you in seconds. Yes, but the law allows champions' rights. Someone else can fight for me. Bora understood first. You want one of us to fight War Master Thel? A trained Vraxi warrior? Yes. That's suicide, Dongwu said. Maybe. But if you win, I go free. Vraxi honor law would protect me. Thel could never claim me again. It is only chance. Would Thel accept the challenge? Taemin asked. He would have to. To refuse would bring shame. He would accept because he thinks he would win easily. Everyone looked at each other. It was insane. But it might work. I'll do it, Taemin said. I'll fight him. Taemin, no, Bora protested. You're an engineer, not a soldier. You've never had combat training. Does anyone else here have combat training? Silence. They were explorers and scientists, not warriors. Then it has to be me. Rix, if I agree to this, will you help me prepare? Rix nodded seriously. I will teach you everything I know about Vraxi combat. I cannot guarantee victory, but I will give you a chance. Captain Dongwu considered carefully. This is completely your choice, Taemin. If you refuse, no one will blame you. I'm not refusing. Send the challenge. The message was sent that afternoon. The response came within hours. War Master Thel accepted the challenge with what the translator called extreme amusement. He agreed to ritual combat on a neutral station in 1 week. The fight would be public, witnessed by representatives from multiple species. Winner would have full legal claim to Rix under ancient Vraxi law. The news spread fast across the galaxy. A human was challenging a Vraxi War Master to combat. Most species found it hilarious. Humans were small, weak, and fragile compared to Vraxi. No one gave Taemin any chance of survival. But some species watched with interest. Species that had suffered under Vraxi aggression. Species that secretly hoped the humans might surprise everyone. Rix became Taemin's teacher. Every day they trained in the cargo bay. Rix could not demonstrate moves himself, but he understood Vraxi fighting styles perfectly. He watched for 23 years. He learned from the best warriors in the galaxy. Vraxi fight with aggression and power. Rix typed as Taman practiced. They rely on strength and speed. They expect enemies to be afraid. How do I beat that? Taman asked, breathing hard. You cannot match his strength, you must be smarter. Faster in mind if not in body. Use his expectations against him. Bora researched Vraxi anatomy, finding weak points. Heijin designed light armor that would not slow Taman down. The crew worked together, each contributing what they could, but everyone knew the truth. Taman was probably going to die. One night, Taman sat alone with Rix in his quarters. His body ached from training. His hands shook when he thought about what was coming. I'm scared, he admitted. Rix typed, I am scared too. You should not have to do this for me. I want to do this, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't terrified. Why are you willing to die for me? Taman thought about that question. Because everyone deserves someone to stand up for them. Because what happened to you was wrong and someone needs to say so. Because if I don't try, I'll regret it for the rest of my life. I have never had anyone care about me before. Not like this. Well, now you do. No matter what happens in that arena, you matter. You're important. Don't ever forget that. Rix's eyes glistened. He typed slowly. If you die because of me, I will never forgive myself. Then I better not die. The week passed too quickly. The Horizon's Edge arrived at the neutral station. It was massive, built to host important galactic events. The arena could hold thousands of spectators. As they docked, they saw dozens of ships from different species, news crews, diplomats, curious observers. This fight had become a major event. An official from the Galactic Union met them at the dock. It was an insectoid Kelthan, tall and clicking. The human challenger and the contested property should come with me. His name is Rix, Taman said firmly. And he's not property. The Kelthan's antennae twitched. That is what this fight will determine. Follow me. They were taken to a waiting room near the arena. Through the walls they could hear the crowd gathering. Thousands of voices in hundreds of languages. A Vraxi ambassador entered the room. She was tall and elegant, wearing formal robes. She looked at Rix with something like pity. I am Ambassador Kryn. I will oversee this challenge to ensure proper protocol. Do you both understand the rules? Explain them, Captain Dongwu said. The fight continues until one combatant dies, surrenders, or is unable to continue. No modern weapons allowed, only traditional melee combat. The winner gains legal ownership of the contested property. She glanced at Rix. I am sorry it has come to this. Old laws are sometimes cruel. Then maybe it's time to change old laws, Taman said. She almost smiled. Perhaps. But first you must survive. Another door opened. War Master Thel entered. He was massive, over 9 feet tall, covered in scars and wearing ceremonial armor. His fur was dark red, marked with symbols of military rank. He looked at Taman the way someone might look at an insect. Then he saw Rix. His expression changed to disgust. Still alive, abomination? I should have killed you at birth. Rix typed quickly and showed the screen. You will lose today. Thel laughed. It was a terrible sound. Your champion is a soft human engineer. I am War Master of the 3rd Fleet. I have killed hundreds in combat. This will be over in seconds. We'll see, Taman said quietly. Thel leaned close. Taman could smell his breath, feel his heat. I will make it hurt. I will make you beg. And when you die, I will take back my property and punish it for all the trouble it caused. He's not an it. He's Rix. And you'll never own him again. For just a moment, Thel looked surprised. Then his face hardened. We will see, human. We will see. The doors to the arena opened. The arena was enormous, a perfect circle of metal floor surrounded by rising seats filled with thousands of alien spectators. Lights blazed down from above. Giant screens showed the combatants from every angle. Taman stood at one end wearing light armor that Bora and Heijin had designed. It covered his chest and vital organs but left him mobile. He carried a simple blade, traditional style as the rules required. His hands sweated inside his gloves. War Master Thel stood at the opposite end. He wore ceremonial armor decorated with kill marks. Each symbol represented an enemy defeated. There were hundreds. He held 2 curved blades, each longer than Taman's entire arm. Ambassador Kryn stood in the center. Her voice carried through speakers. This is a challenge of ownership under ancient Vraxi law. The human Taman fights his champion for the Vraxi called Rix. War Master Thel fights to reclaim what he considers his property. The combat continues until death, surrender, or inability to continue. Are both combatants ready? Taman nodded. His heart pounded so hard he could hear it. Thel bared his teeth. Ready? Then begin. Thel moved instantly. He was impossibly fast for something so large. He crossed half the arena in seconds, blade swinging for Taman's head. Taman dove to the side, barely avoiding the strike. The blade passed where his neck had been. He rolled and came up running. The crowd roared. Thel turned and charged again. Taman kept moving, using his smaller size to dodge. He remembered Rix's training. Do not try to match his strength. Stay alive. Tire him out. But Thel was not tiring. He attacked again and again, each strike powerful enough to kill. Taman's arm shook from blocking. Once, twice, 3 times he barely escaped death. A blade caught his shoulder. Pain exploded through him. Blood ran down his arm. The crowd cheered louder. Taman stumbled back. Thel smiled and advanced slowly now, confident. In the observation box, Rix watched through the glass. His paws pressed against it. Captain Dongwu stood beside him. Can Taman win? Rix typed frantically. He is doing everything right, but Thel is too strong. Taman needs to make Thel angry. Make him stop thinking. How? Use the arena. Use psychology. Make Thel feel insulted. Down in the arena, Taman heard Rix's voice in his earpiece. They had set up a communication system hidden in Taman's armor. Rix's typed words were converted to speech. Use the pillars, Rix's computer voice said. Lead him to the support pillars. Make him think you are weak and afraid. Let him chase you. Taman ran toward one of the large pillars that supported the arena ceiling. Thel laughed and followed, taking his time. Running, little human. There is nowhere to hide. Taman positioned himself with the pillar behind him. Thel charged, blades raised. At the last second, Taman dropped flat. Thel's blade struck the metal pillar with tremendous force, embedding deeply. For just a moment, the blades were stuck. Taman slashed at Thel's leg, cutting deep. First blood drawn by the human. The crowd's noise changed. Surprise mixed with the cheering. Thel roared and pulled his blades free. He looked at his bleeding leg, then at Taman. Lucky strike. It changes nothing. Hit him with words, Rix's voice said in Taman's ear. Vraxi warriors hate insults. Make him emotional. Taman stood straight, breathing hard. Is this the best the Vraxi military has? I expected more from someone who calls himself War Master. Thel's eyes narrowed. Careful, human. You kept an innocent being in a cage. Tortured him for 20 years. And you call yourself honorable? You're pathetic. Rage flashed across Thel's face. I am War Master of the Third Fleet. I have conquered worlds. And yet you couldn't even keep a tiny Vraxi locked up. He escaped because of you. That's pretty embarrassing. Thel's control snapped. He charged wildly, abandoning technique. Pure rage drove him now. Exactly what Rix predicted. Sidestep left now, Rix commanded. Taman moved. Thel's blade missed by inches. Taman slashed at Thel's exposed side. Another cut. Not deep, but it counted. They circled each other. Taman was bleeding from multiple wounds, but still standing. Thel had several cuts now, too. Neither was winning. He will try to grapple you, Rix warned. Vraxi are strongest in close combat. Keep distance. Thel did exactly that. He dropped one blade and lunged forward, trying to grab Taman. His clawed hand caught Taman's armor, lifted him off the ground. Taman stabbed down into Thel's arm. The War Master growled but did not let go. He raised his other blade to strike the killing blow. The joint! Strike his elbow joint! Rix shouted through the speaker. Taman twisted and drove his blade into the gap in Thel's armor at the elbow. The arm went weak. Thel dropped him. Taman rolled away, gasping. His ribs felt cracked. Blood ran from a dozen cuts. His vision blurred. Get up, Rix pleaded. Please get up. Taman struggled to his feet. Across the arena, Thel also rose. The War Master's left arm hung useless. Blood matted his fur. He was wounded but far from finished. You fight well for prey, Thel admitted. But this ends now. He picked up both blades in his good hand and charged one final time. No more games. No more playing. Just pure lethal intent. Taman was too tired to dodge. Too hurt to run. He had one chance. When he swings, drop low and go for his legs, Rix instructed. It is your only option. Trip him, Thel swung high, aiming to decapitate. Taman dropped to his knees and slashed at Thel's ankles. Both tendons cut. Thel's momentum carried him forward, but his legs could not support him. He fell hard, crashing face first into the metal floor. The crowd went silent. Thel tried to rise, but his legs would not work. His arm would not work. He lay on his stomach, helpless. Taman stood slowly. Every movement hurt. He walked to Thel and placed his blade against the War Master's throat. The crowd exploded into noise. Some cheered. Some booed. Everyone was shocked. Ambassador Kryn approached slowly. The human has won. By law, he may claim victory by death or surrender. What is your choice, human? Thel looked up at Taman. Kill me. Better death than this shame. Taman's hand shook. He could end it. One thrust and Thel would be gone. Justice for Rix for all the pain and suffering. But in his ear, Rix's voice came quiet. Do not kill him. We are better than that. Show mercy. Show them what humans truly are. Taman took a deep breath. He stepped back and lowered his blade. I claim victory by surrender. War Master Thel is defeated but alive. Shock rippled through the arena. In Vraxi culture, mercy was rare. Weakness, some would call it. But Taman did not care about Vraxi culture. He was human. And humans could choose compassion even for enemies. Ambassador Kryn looked at him with something like respect. The challenge is complete. By ancient law, the Vraxi called Rix is free. War Master Thel has no claim to him. This ruling is final and binding. Medical teams rushed onto the arena floor. They took Thel away on a stretcher. He looked at Tae-Min with an unreadable expression as he passed. Tae-Min dropped to his knees, exhausted. The crowd's noise washed over him. He had done it. Somehow, impossibly, he had won. Bora and Heejin ran onto the floor to help him. Captain Dongwu followed with Rix cradled in his arms. They set Rix down next to Tae-Min. For a moment, Human and Vraxi just looked at each other. Then Rix pressed his small head against Taemin's chest. Tae-Min wrapped his arms around him gently. You're free, Tae-Min whispered. Really free? Rix's body shook. He was crying. Maybe for the first time in his life, he cried from happiness instead of pain. The medical team wanted to take Tae-Min to the hospital immediately. His injuries were serious, but he refused to let go of Rix. He comes with me. Of course, Heejin said. We're not separating you two. They left the arena together. Behind them, the crowd still argued about what they had witnessed. A human had defeated a Vraxi War Master, not through superior strength or speed, but through courage, strategy, and mercy. In the observation boxes, representatives from dozens of species took notes. The human species had proven something important today. They were not the strongest, not the fastest. But they had heart. They had principles, and they would fight for what was right. High Counselor Vex watched from the highest box. He was an ancient being of energy, older than most civilizations. He turned to his aide. Make a note. Humanity is worth watching. They may be weak now, but they have something valuable, something rare. What is that, Counselor? They care about others more than themselves. That is the foundation of true strength. In the medical bay, doctors worked on Tae-Min's injuries. Rick sat beside the bed, paws on the blanket. He typed on his tablet. Thank you, you gave me life twice, once in that cage, once in that arena. You're worth it, Tae-Min said through his pain medication haze. Every bit of it. I will spend the rest of my life making sure you never regret this. I already don't regret it. You're my friend, Rix. Rix tilted his head. Friend, I like that word, get some rest. Both of you, Heejin ordered. The galaxy can wait, but the galaxy was already moving. News of the fight spread to every corner of civilized space. The human engineer who showed mercy, the tiny Vraxi who was finally free, a story that would be told for generations, and in dark corners of the galaxy other beings watched, other outcasts, other Vraxi who did not fit the mold. They saw what happened and felt something they had not felt in years, hope. Tae-Min spent 3 days in the medical bay. His body needed time to heal. Broken ribs, torn muscles, deep cuts. The doctor said he was lucky to be alive. He said he felt lucky too. Rix never left his side. He slept curled up at the foot of the medical bed. When Tae-Min woke up from nightmares, Rix was there, pressing his small head against Tae-Min's hand. On the 4th day, Ambassador Kryn visited them. She carried official documents. The Galactic Union Council has reviewed the challenge outcome, she said. By ancient law, Rix is legally free. War Master Thel can never claim him again. The ruling is permanent. What about the Vraxi military? Captain Dongwu asked. He stood guard near the door. Will they accept this? They must. To deny their own honor law would destroy their reputation across the galaxy. However, I will be honest, many Vraxi are angry. Some call Thel weak, others call for revenge against humanity. Great, Bora muttered. So we started a war. No, you started a conversation. Several Vraxi commanders have privately expressed respect for Taemin's combat skills and mercy. They find the human concept of compassionate victory interesting. Rix typed on his tablet. What about my legal status? That is why I am here. The Council has ruled that you are a sentient being with full legal rights. You are the first Vraxi ever to be granted this status outside normal Vraxi social structure. Essentially, you are a free citizen of the galaxy. You may choose where to live, who to associate with, what to do. Rix stared at the screen. Then he typed, I choose to stay with Taemin and the Horizon's Edge crew. Ambassador Kryn smiled. I thought you might. Captain Dongwu, the Council asks if you will accept Rix as an official crew member. Absolutely, Dongwu said without hesitation. He's already proven his value. Then it is settled. Welcome to freedom, Rix. After she left, Rix typed, I never thought I would have rights, have a choice. You always deserved them, Taemin said. The law was just wrong. News of the fight spread across the entire galaxy. Every species talked about it. Some praised humanity. Some mocked the Vraxi. Some debated what it meant for the future. The human ambassador to the Galactic Union received hundreds of communications. Some positive, some negative. But everyone agreed on one thing. Humanity had made a statement. They would protect the helpless even at great cost. Several alien species approached Earth with new trade deals. They wanted to do business with beings who showed such principles. Others stayed away, finding humans too unpredictable and soft. The Vraxi officially reduced diplomatic contact with humanity. But quietly, some Vraxi reached out in secret, especially those who did not fit their warrior culture. They asked questions about rights and freedoms. On the Horizon's Edge, life slowly returned to normal. Taemin recovered enough to return to his engineering duties. Rix became the ship's tactical advisor. His genius-level intelligence proved valuable in countless ways. He helped them navigate dangerous territories, predicted asteroid movements, solved mechanical problems, organized supply runs efficiently. The crew wondered how they had managed without him. One evening, Taemin found Rix in the observation deck staring at the stars. What are you thinking about? Taemin asked. Rix typed, I spent 23 years in cages and small rooms. I never saw space like this. It is beautiful. It is. I am still small, still defective by Vraxi standards, but I do not feel broken anymore. You were never broken. You were just treated badly. There's a difference. Rix's ears perked up. There is something I need to tell you. Something important. What is it? During my time with Thel, I heard things, saw things I know about other Vraxi like me. Ones who do not fit, ones who are hiding. How many? Thousands. Maybe more. Vraxi culture is very strict. Anyone who is weak, sick, or different is cast out or killed. But some survive. They hide in the edges of Vraxi space in secret colonies. And you know where these colonies are? Yes. I also received something yesterday, a secret message. Rick showed Taemin his tablet. The message was written in Vraxi language, but the translator converted it. We have heard what you did. What the human did for you. We are Vraxi who do not fit. Vraxi with genetic defects, physical disabilities, or minds that do not want to fight. We have been hiding for generations. You give us hope. Can you help us? Taemin read the message twice. Where is this from? A hidden colony in the Outer Rim. They have been there for 50 years. They want to meet me, meet us. This could be a trap. I know. But it could also be real. If it is real, these beings need help, Taemin thought carefully. Then he smiled. Let's talk to the captain. Captain Dongwu listened to Rix's explanation. He studied the coordinates of the hidden colony. This is dangerous. If it's a Vraxi military trap, we could all be killed. But if it's real, we could help thousands of beings, Bora said. She had been listening at the door. Isn't that worth the risk? The Galactic Union has already given us new orders, Dongwu said. They want us to investigate reports of illegal activity in neutral space, specifically reports of beings being held against their will. This would fit under that mandate. So we're going? Taemin asked. Dongwu looked at his crew. They all nodded. Even He-jin, who was usually the most cautious, were going. Set course for the coordinates, but everyone stays armed and alert. Rix, I need you to monitor all communications. If this is a trap, I want warning. I will not let you down. The journey took 2 weeks. They traveled through quiet space, avoiding main routes. The coordinates led them to an asteroid field in a forgotten system. No planets, no stations, just rocks and ice. Then they detected a signal, weak but clear, a request to approach slowly. As they moved deeper into the asteroid field, they saw it. A colony built inside the largest asteroid. Dozens of ships docked there. Old ships, modified ships, ships that had been hidden for years. Scanning for weapons, He-jin reported. I'm detecting some, but nothing aggressive. They're defensive only. A transmission came through, a Vraxi voice, but it sounded nervous. Human ship Horizon's Edge, we mean no harm. We are the Lost Ones. We wish to meet with Rix. Rix typed quickly. Lost Ones is an old Vraxi term. It means those who are cast out. This is Captain Dongwu. We're here peacefully. Can we dock? Please. We have waited so long for someone to find us. They docked at the asteroid colony. The airlock opened. Beyond it stood a group of Vraxi, but they were like none the crew had seen before. Some were small like Rix. Some had missing limbs. Some walked with difficulty. One had white fur, which apparently was considered a defect. Another had only one eye. All of them looked nervous. An elderly Vraxi stepped forward. Her fur was gray with age. She moved slowly but with dignity. I am Elder Nim. I speak for the Lost Ones. You are truly Rix? Rix walked forward. He looked tiny next to the other Vraxi, but he stood tall. Yes, I am Rix. The one who won freedom? The one who had a human fight for him? Yes, then you understand what we are, what we have endured. I do. I was you. Until Taemin found me. Elder Nim looked at Taemin. You are the human who showed mercy, who defeated War Master Thel but let him live. I am. Why did you do it? Why risk everything for one defective Vraxi? Because everyone deserves compassion. Everyone deserves a chance at a real life. Tears formed in Elder Nim's eyes. Do you truly believe that? I do. She gestured to the group behind her. We are 3,000 Vraxi. All of us were rejected by our own people. We have lived in hiding for decades, watching for generations as our kind treats us like trash. We survive, but we do not live. Not really. What do you want from us? Captain Dongwu asked gently. Recognition. We want the galaxy to know we exist. We want rights. We want the same freedom Rix has now, but we are too weak to fight for it ourselves. Rix moved closer to Elder Nim. Then we will fight for you. I was given a chance. I will use it to help others. But how? Another Vraxi asked. We cannot defeat the military. We cannot change Vraxi law. No, Taemin said. But you can change galactic law. Rix's freedom set a precedent. If we can get you to the Galactic Union Council, if we can tell your story, we might be able to establish legal protections for all of you. The council would listen to us? Elder Nim asked doubtfully. They listened when it was about Rix. They'll listen again, especially if humanity supports you. Captain Dongwu nodded. We'll bring your case to the council. We'll fight for your rights. It won't be easy, but we'll try. Hope bloomed on the faces of the Lost Ones. For the first time in years, they felt like maybe, just maybe, things could change. Over the next weeks, the Horizon's Edge crew worked with the Lost Ones. They documented their stories, gathered evidence, prepared a case for the Galactic Union. Rix worked tirelessly. He interviewed every Vraxi, recorded their histories, built a database of injustice that could not be denied. Bora provided medical examinations proving they were all intelligent, capable beings despite their differences. He-jin organized their testimonies. Taemin helped repair their equipment and ships. Finally, they were ready. The Horizon's Edge carried representatives from the Lost Ones to the Galactic Union headquarters. Elder Nim spoke for her people. Rix translated and provided evidence. Taemin stood as a witness. The council listened. High Counselor Vex asked many questions. The debate lasted for days. Many species objected, saying this was internal Vraxi business. Others supported the Lost Ones, seeing an opportunity to weaken Vraxi military power.